Hello everybody, my name is Bryce Machine Bates from Team Evil Geniuses, and this has been a replay review brought to you by evilgeniuses.net. Today's replay is going to be a Zerg vs. Zerg on Antiga Shipyard, me against Empire Violet, so let's go ahead and jump into the game. Alright, let's go ahead and get this started. Typically, Antiga Shipyard is a good map for ZvZ because there's not really a whole lot of travel distance between the mains. It's very open, and there's a destructible rock leading into the entrance at the third, so you have to allow for a lot of different, basically like defense angles. And so roach pressure is extremely common on this map, and it's extremely difficult to deal with. One good thing to note, you'll see I'm actually rallying both my overlords to the center of his base. ZvZ, it's really common to do so because there's no real mobile ground-to-air units in ZvZ. There's just the Queen, but it takes them a long time to actually push out in order to fend off these overlords, and then they're also extremely exposed because they can't retreat. So we'll see here, I opened with a standard 15 hatchery, probably 16 or 17 gas, and then 17 pool. Violet has gone for the 15 pool, then I believe it's 16 gas opening. And so this is just kind of a safe build against 10 pool. It's going to allow him to get out decently early tech, at least faster tech than myself. But the one thing it's definitely lacking is just the expansion. But because of his earlier Queen, he can hit faster inject, allowing him to get the same amount of drones as me, if not more. So definitely have my expansion almost up here, 17 pool. This should coincide with the extractor mining, so that right when the pool completes, I have 100 Vespene gas mined. I can start my speed and attain map control once the speed's complete. So as the expansion completes here, transferring some drones, because I was able to scout out his natural and I see these early Zerglings, I'm not really worried about any sort of all in. I know like his pool's late enough that, you know, because my pool will just complete, I can just go ahead and start producing Zerglings from that point and then defend quite easily. So as we see here, start a spine crawler because I scout that it is actually pool first. It's always pretty smart to start early, an early spine crawler if it's pool first, because his speeds should be quicker than mine, even though it's not this game. I've started my own Zergling speed. He started a pretty early Roach one, no speed, and he's going to use these 6 roaches in production to fake an attack and possibly just help defend his natural. Now, the one thing that's not so good about this is because he starts up this early roach production and doesn't have the speed, he has no map control, and he's forced to commit if he actually wants to attack me. You know, he can move to the bottom of this ramp, and I still don't have to start up unit production. He has to be like almost halfway across the map for me to actually be afraid of any sort of all-in. Especially with this spine crawler I have, there's no potential for him to really do so. So if we look at the harvester count, I'm actually at 27 harvesters to his 17, because I know that without this Zergling speed, he has no chance at really being able to put pressure or do any damage to me. And I know that because I scout out this many roaches at this point in the game, he can't actually have speed at this point. So, once again, I lure in there with my speedling, scout these 6 roaches, and I'm going to be doing nothing but droning, just as many drones as I can build, because I realize it's just his build's like very inefficient. So this should allow me to have a pretty early lead against him. I know he's getting this +1. I'm just now starting my Evo chamber, my Roach one, so he'll definitely have the upgrade advantage. That's the one thing he's going for. And he didn't waste resources on wing speed. So those are his 2 advantages at this point, but I definitely have the drone count lead, had the earlier expansion, and I've just overall been able to read his build better than he's been able to read mine, because he actually has no map scouting. He's kind of just playing blind, while I can just poke in with Zerglings, scout his roach numbers, poke out, adjust, and then do the rinse and repeat. Also, because I have map control, As I said earlier, these destructible rocks allow for a secondary pathway into engaging the third. Trying to focus them down as quickly as possible will just come in handy later on when sort of the Roach battles commence. Start my lair. I'm a bit afraid to get too early of a third here because I know that he's started up this early Roach production. He's got this +1. He's trying to hit a Roach +1 timing. So my third goes down. This is going to put passive pressure on him. He scouts it with his Overlord, and he has this +1 about to complete. He's definitely thinking he can do some damage to it at the time. Notice my +1's pretty far behind. It's about 70%, but by the time he actually traveled across the map with slow Roaches, it would be complete. So I've started up some Roach production of my own. If you look at the unit tab, I have 48 drones to his 36. I have 13 Roaches to his 11, 2 Queens to 2 Queens. I have extra Zerglings, extra Overlords. I'm just about ahead in every single way you possibly could be at this point. So I put down my second evolution chamber. I want to start these, I want to start both upgrades if I recognize we're going to be in these mass Roach battles late game. And because I've scouted this many Roaches this early, I know he has to be going Roach and not Muta. So I feel very comfortable with just putting down the second evolution chamber. So he moves in to kill my third, and I want to force him to commit, so I choose to engage. I should be walking down towards the bottom left, not allowing him to retreat, but I had a little bit of sloppy control there. Either way, he ended up losing more Roaches than me, and I'm able to secure this early third. His third's still not even up. It's not too far behind mine. He's getting Roach speed, he's getting a second Evo, but it's well behind mine. I'm starting my +2 range attack, +1 armor, and I should actually have a timing as both of those upgrades complete in order to hit him. I have a macro hatch. If you look at the harvester count, still ahead. Actually, I just fell behind, 56 to 57, but 56 is a decent enough number that I can pump Roaches off 4 hatcheries if I'm only going Roaches and not teching. And because I scout in here with an Overseer, recognize that he just put these down, I'm not too worried about Infestor tech, because he actually needs the Vespene Geysers here in order to get the Infestor tech. And either way, he would still possibly be open for a timing if he was going Infestor. I have Roach speed, his rocks are cleared at his third, so I'm in a very good situation here. Spreading creep out in between my bases so I can rally quicker. And I have this 4th hatchery finally complete, and start spawning larvae at that. And I'm about 50 supply up, or 40 supply actually. Meanwhile, he's kind of just forced them to only making Roaches because it's the only thing he can really do at this point. He doesn't have a macro hatch, and his upgrades are a little bit behind. So, as I said, as this +1 armor completes and +2 completes is when I should be hitting. I'm pressuring out earlier because I want him to force unit production, force reaction from him. I have 45 Roaches to his 33, and you'll see we both, he actually has an upgrade advantage right now with 1-1, but as soon as these two complete, I'll definitely have the upgrade advantage. I scout in with a single Roach, just making sure he's placing Roaches on both sides of his base. He's able to pick that off, but I'm about to max out here, so I definitely have a window. I'm just spending all my time rallying as many Roaches as I can, spreading my creep down here with a Queen, and now you notice my upgrade's complete, so now I definitely feel like it's time to engage. He's he's just on 1-1, so I actually have a little bit of an upgrade advantage, and I definitely want to utilize it. He recognizes the third's about to fall, he runs into his natural to try to defend, try to regroup. And so I'm going to use that time to try to pick down this hatchery as quick as I can, because once this third goes down, he's ahead, or I'm ahead in even more ways. But I recognize instead of just falling back at this point, I might as well use the opportunity to just use all my advantages to end the game. So I continually rallying more and more Roaches, trying to get inside his natural here, inside his rally point, so he's kind of disrupted because he has to engage from multiple angles. Makes it harder for him to micro. And now I just kind of push into his natural, continually producing roaches in time. He's got his +2 arm is about to complete, but it's just not in time. And GG, well played. Alright guys, once again my name is Bryce Machine Bates from Team Evil Geniuses. This has been a replay review brought to you by evilgeniuses.net. If you guys enjoyed this, you can check out this and more at evilgeniuses.net. Take care.